Feel like your bike has lost its zip? Over time, even a well-loved motorcycle can start to feel sluggish. Throttle response dulls, the engine runs rough, and handling isn't as sharp as before. The good news is that many performance issues can be reversed with a thorough tune-up. A comprehensive service from fresh fluids to valve adjustments can truly fix things like fuel, economy, acceleration, and overall performance. In other words, small changes now can pay off big time with a smoother, more powerful ride. Essential tune-up checklist. Before diving deeper, start with the basics. A routine maintenance checklist ensures nothing is overlooked. Key items include engine oil and filter. Drain the old oil and replace the filter. Fresh, high-quality oil reduces internal friction and helps your engine run smoothly. This is fundamental for engine longevity and preserving engine life. Air and fuel filters. A clean air filter and fuel filter ensure your engine breathes freely and gets clean fuel. Clogged filters restrict airflow or fuel flow, hurting throttle response and power. Replacing them restores optimal air/fuel mix. Spark plugs. New spark plugs give a hotter, more consistent spark. Worn or fouled plugs can cause misfires, rough idle, and poor acceleration. Swapping in fresh plugs and checking their gap guarantees crisp combustion. Valve clearance. On 4-stroke bikes, valve clearances tend to drift with mileage. Incorrect valve gaps cause poor running. As one expert notes, incorrect valve clearances will lead to poor running and eventually serious damage. Setting valves to spec ensures valves seal and open properly, restoring smooth power delivery. Fluids, brake, coolant, fork oil. All fluids age and absorb moisture. Replace brake fluid every 1-2 years to maintain strong pedal feel. Flush coolant if due to avoid overheating. Change fork oil to keep suspension supple. Other fluids like brake fluid, coolant on liquid-cooled bikes, and fork oil need periodic maintenance. And keeping them fresh preserves safety and engine life. Fuel system. If you have a carbureted bike, clean or rebuild the carburetors. For fuel-injected bikes, run a fuel injector cleaner or have injectors serviced. Old fuel can gum up jets and injectors, causing hard starts and flat spots. Cleaning the fuel system will restore crisp throttle response and strong acceleration. Throttle and clutch cables. Lubricate and adjust your cables so they move freely. A sticky or slack throttle cable can make power delivery feel vague. Properly lubed and adjusted cables translate every wrist or lever input into immediate action. Battery and electrical. Check battery voltage and terminals. A weak battery can cause erratic ignition or charging issues. Inspect all lights and switches. A solid electrical system means reliable starts and consistent ignition spark. Each of these steps targets a different subsystem. Taken together, they leave no stone unturned. As one maintenance guide sums up, a tune-up is basically going over the bike and making sure that each part is running smoothly. Now, let's look at some of these areas in more detail. Number 1. Engine and drivetrain. Tune-up. A great place to start is under the tank and covers. Fresh oil and a clean filter immediately help the engine's internals, while new spark plugs and a clean air filter ensure efficient combustion. Next, pay special attention to the valve train. Over thousands of miles, valve gaps can close up, causing exhaust gases to linger and the engine to run rough. Adjusting the valves to the specification in your service manual keeps the engine running as smoothly as possible. This not only preserves power, but avoids serious damage that can occur when valves overheat or seat improperly. On a similar note, don't forget the fuel delivery. For carbs, soak them in cleaner or rebuild the jets. For EFI, add a high-quality injector cleaner to the tank. A clean fuel system eliminates hesitation and hard lean spots, bringing back instant throttle response. As one repair guide notes, old fuel can become clogged, leading to hard starts, poor idling, or power loss. And cleaning or rebuilding the fuel system can restore performance. In practice, this means your engine will pull strongly again from low to high RPM without coughing or bogging. Next is the transmission and chain. Correct chain tension and lubrication are key. A dry or stretched chain turns hard, and worn sprockets can cause the chain to skip under load. Keeping the chain clean, lubed, and properly tensioned improves acceleration and extends component life. Routine chain maintenance, cleaning, and lubricating keeps the drivetrain smooth. Over time, chains stretch and sprockets wear unevenly, causing rough shifting, loud noises, or poor acceleration. If your chain feels loose or noisy, it's time to clean it, adjust tension, and consider replacing the chain and sprockets together for silky smooth power. A well-maintained chain lets more of your engine's power actually reach the rear wheel. Number 2, brakes and tires. Stopping power and traction are a big part of feeling like new. First, brake pads and fluid. Inspect pads for wear and replace them if they're thin or glazed. As experts warn, grinding, squeaking, or reduced stopping power is a clear sign your pads need replacing, because worn pads not only stop the bike less effectively, but can damage the rotors and compromise safety. Equally important is fresh brake fluid. Over time, brake fluid absorbs moisture, lowering its boiling point and making the brakes feel soft. Bleed the system with new dot fluid to restore a firm lever feel. In the image above, a DIY brake bleeding kit is used to flush old fluid out of the lines. This simple step removes old, contaminated fluid and bubbles, giving a much firmer, more precise brake response. Together, new pads and fluid mean confident 100% braking performance, just like a new bike. Tires also deserve attention. Old or hard tires lose grip, and improper pressure hurts handling. Inspect tires for tread depth and cracks. Replace any aged or worn tires. Keep them inflated to the manufacturer's recommended pressure. Check cold. Good tires make steering precise and compliant, whereas worn rubber can make the bike feel vague or unstable. One guide reminds us that worn tread, sidewall cracks, or flat spots can lead to poor handling or even blowouts. So routine checks of tread and pressure are one of the easiest ways to avoid unsafe riding conditions. In practice, new or properly aired up tires give immediate gains in cornering confidence and stability. Fine-tuning and the psychology of maintenance. Don't overlook the small things. Lubricate all pivot points, throttle cables, clutch cable, foot pegs, and levers. A sticky throttle or clutch can sneakily sap performance. Freeing up those cables makes control inputs smooth and precise. Tighten loose nuts and bolts. You'd be surprised how even a handguard or bolt turning slightly loose can buzz against the bike or add unwanted noise. Check and clean the airbox and battery terminals. Every little bit of smooth operation adds up to a bike that runs as smoothly as possible. Beyond mechanics, remember the rider's mindset. Working on your bike builds confidence and pride of ownership. When you know every component was checked and renewed, you ride more aggressively and enjoyably. A fresh tune-up often inspires riders to push a bit harder because the bike responds. This psychology of care means a safer, more engaging ride.